for me professionally in my clinical setting, that's probably one of the toughest things for people to do is share how they're feeling in the moment. So what do you see in me? What is your awareness of me and how I'm coming off? Like, I think I'm coming off one way. Notice when I'm responding versus reacting, two
Mm,
very different things. When
mm.
I'm responding, I'm coming from that calm space. When I'm reacting, I'm coming from my emotional self. And for men, there may be additional things that men can do. Football, that's a big one.
Mhm. Yes.
Sports. That's
Mhm,
so important. It's not it's a game, but it's part of self-care, immersing yourself in that. But while you're doing that, think about your 5 senses.
mhm,
What am I doing? Not just watching the game, but how am I enhancing my capacity through this game? I'm
mm,
yelling and screaming and hollering.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
That's important.
mhm, mhm,
But we do that at home, but how can we do that at work? What can
mhm.
we put into place? So those are some ideas on what you can do to enhance that area.
I love that framework. Love that
I
framework.
love
Love that
that.
framework.
Yes.
Yeah, and you
Yes.
got me thinking, I'm like, "Man, how am I gonna do this?"
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
it
that's
takes
good.
time. It takes time to relearn, to think about what's needed
Mhm.
for yourself individually. So,
Gotcha. So as we wrap up, let's talk about the leadership mindset for 2026.
yeah.
Can you walk us through the I noticed micro skill that you mentioned in the other
Mm.
conversation? And how does that one phrase help a leader stay aware enough to catch burnout before it starts?
I mean, some of what we just talked about, it goes into the I notice part because it's how we intentionally slow down our system. And those 5 senses are key even when you're noticing. I noticed the bird out on the tree.
Mm,
And I always challenge people, when was the last time you stopped and watched a bird?
mm,
It's been a long time.
mhm,
Your system is catching that data. It's telling you you're treating yourself well. It's telling you you're taking time for it. Because if you think of the opposite, if you think negatively all day, and I think one of you said perception, that perception is built upon the data that we catch every day, right?
right.
That's how people build perceptions. So if I'm in an office with a window, I'm up standing, looking out the window. I'm noticing if it's raining, but I'm actually sharing that with somebody. And
Mhm,
that's where that conversation comes in. So noticing creates an intentional pause. It creates an intentional hibernation every day,
mhm.
right? We're not bears, we don't go hibernating, but it creates the hibernation effect
Yeah.
so that we are rejuvenated. Noticing what habits I have that are healthy, that are
Mhm,
not healthy.
mhm,
Notice when I'm responding versus reacting, two
mm,
very different things.
mm.
When I'm responding, I'm coming from that calm space. When I'm reacting, I'm coming from my emotional self. I'm coming from, happy, mad, sad, glad. And that's another thing too. I always say, get an emotional wheel. That's
Okay.
a good way to um really understand where you have developed emotionally because we talk a lot about happy, mad, sad, glad, angry. Those top 5, right?
Mhm,
But there are thousands of emotions that we have to tap into in the boardroom, athletes, and for me professionally in my clinical setting. That's probably one of the toughest things for people to do is share how they're feeling in the moment. So noticing is, I want you
mm,
to look inside and
mhm,
notice how you're feeling.
mm, mm,
Like,
mm,
how are you feeling today?
mhm.
And
That's
that's
good.
often very difficult for a team, for a client to really voice. Again, vulnerability versus what I can see,
Mhm,
honest. So here's a team setting. Here's a team activity. You get this big wheel, emotional wheel, put it in the middle of the table or at the board in front. I want everybody to share how you're feeling.
mm.
and allow them to look at this wheel or give them each one of them a wheel. I want you to share how you're feeling.
Mhm.
You're gonna get so many different feelings coming out of people
Right.
that you didn't see with them just being honest.
Right,
So
right.
that's how I guess foster the idea of noticing
Mhm,
by what we see in our senses and activities like that emotional wheel
mhm.
so that you can understand in a vulnerability way what's going on internally and with your team. So,
That is that
yeah.
is that is so powerful.
Yeah. Yeah.
You also talked about, a situation where, you gave the example of
Uh,
ask somebody who's close to you, "What do you notice in me?" Right?
yeah.
You wanna
Mm.
talk a little bit about that one?
Woo. Yeah. Definitely with somebody that you trust.
Okay.
That's definitely a team building activity as well, but that comes from I think that came from me personally, and I'm married, so me and my spouse just making sure we do check-ins. It's not easy for men in particular to share their emotions. Again, men weren't necessarily conditioned, right, to share
Right.
their emotions. Like, I
For
feel
sure.
happy today. That's probably not gonna happen too much.
Right.
But you see it happening, right?
Mhm.
You
Right.
see it
Yes.
happening. But
Yeah.
when it
Yes.
comes to the idea of relationships, marriage, business, you want you want to hear that, right?
Mhm.
So that feedback, that connectedness comes from both parties sharing, what do you see in me?
Mm.
How do you see this? What is your, someone said awareness today. What is your awareness of me and how I'm coming off? Like, I think I'm coming off one way. It's kind of like the
Right.
Jehovah's window effect,
Mhm.
meaning there's different views. If I have a window over here, you all can't see that window, right? Why?
Mhm.
Because it's out of view.
Mhm.
I have a door over here, you can't see that. It's out of view. So I want that person to share what's out of view, out
Mm.
of my view,
Right.
because
Right.
I don't know what can come from that way. And so that's really what I meant by that and how I apply that in my sessions, how that I apply that in my own life.
Sure.
Tell me from the view that you see how well I'm doing. And you get a
Mhm.
lot of
Mm.
feedback. You get some good feedback, you get some bad feedback. But you take that data and you can improve who you are. Again, character and capacity both can be improved through that information that you get that from that trusted person. So,
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's so good. That is so good. That is so good. Man, well,
yeah.
we've covered a lot today.
It's been a
Yep,
great
It's been
yep, we
really
did.
session.
good.
We did.
It's been really good.
Awesome,
It's been
awesome.
really good. Well,
Yeah.
as a closing reflection, final thought or insight, do you have any final thoughts or insights that you would like to share with leaders, that they can carry with them as
Yeah.
they go about protecting their mental, emotional, and physical capacity for the year?
Yeah, I would just reiterate what we've talked about today and know your capacity. Understand your condition better. So if that's going to therapy, if that's getting with a trusted person, if that's you just reading a book, reading a book is still good, audio books, learning more about who you are and how you connect to this world, knowing that it's an inside job as well
Mhm.
as an outside job when it comes to emotional intelligence, and that is reflected differently in men and women. That's reflected different in the boardroom versus an athlete versus the clinical room.
Mm.
Burnout is real and it's not going anywhere. So do something about it. It's predictable and it's something that we can currently do something about. So your capacity, your condition, and your encouragement is just so important in this season.
Fantastic.
Sure.
Fantastic.
So
Fantastic.
Amethyst, if
Yeah.
someone wanted to get in touch with you, how would they do that?
First and last name, amethystrobinson.com. Yep, that would
Right.
be the best way to go to the website. I have a lot of resources and current events that I will be doing in the near future.
Awesome. Awesome. And
Awesome.
are you
Awesome. Awesome.
taking new clients right now?
I, I'm taking clients. I'm actually starting a group on therapy session soon. So all of that information will be on my website as well. But keep in mind also, I am licensed in Florida and Missouri. So for clinical purposes, clients are only they have to live in Florida or Missouri, but for coaching, pretty much
Mhm.
every state. So,
All right. Awesome. Awesome.
yeah.
Any social media platforms you're on?
You know what? If you just Google my name, you'll see all of them. All of them
Okay.
popped up. Yeah. Everything's under Amethyst Roberson. Yeah.
Okay, perfect, perfect. We'll make sure that
Thank
we put that in the show notes as well so that everybody
Okay.
knows how to get in contact with you and reach you. But fantastic,
Appreciate
fantastic show.
it.
Great way to start off the new year, you know,
Yeah.
working on ourselves internally so that we can be the best for other people. So thank you so much for
Absolutely.
sharing your gift with the world and being a guest on our podcast.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank
Appreciate it so
you.
much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
McClure. I'm a little mad at you.
Go Comets.
Thank you for listening to the Leadership Sovereignty Podcast. If today's conversation helped you grow in your leadership, influence, or your career, take a moment to visit leadershipsovereignty.com. There you'll find exclusive resources, free guides, and ways to stay connected to our community of leaders who are building purpose and success. Don't forget to rate, review, and share this episode with someone who's on the rise in their career. Until next time, lead boldly, lead with purpose, and continue to walk in sovereignty. Take care.